Blue Jackets and the Florida Panthers getting together for the second time this year here today. Well, it's been quite a while since we have done this. As a matter of fact, it was about a month ago, prior to the Olympic break, but it was the same opponent, the Florida Panthers, here in the same building. As a matter of fact, let's take a look back at the last time Jody and I actually sat down here.
That'll do it for the Time Warner Rink report. Enjoy the Olympic break.
I had some work done over the break, could you tell?
Yeah, a little bit. But boy, you look good, Bob.
Thank you, Jody. I appreciate that. Well, the Blue Jackets come into this game after a loss in New Jersey on Thursday night. That was a very disappointing loss for the Blue Jackets, not the way they wanted to play that game. And Mark Letestu says they simply have to put it behind them.
I don't know if we needed a reminder or a wake-up call or anything like that. I think the intensity and the energy was there. Maybe at times it was misguided. You know, our execution wasn't great. But we know how big the games are. We've been in this situation last season. There's still 23 of them. There's lots of time to make up the ground and get back into the playoff picture where we want to be. It's just a bad game. Move on.
Well, Jody, he talks about moving on. How difficult is that for a player?
It's not difficult, and these guys have been through this all year. They've had disappointments and then have to react, and this is a reaction game tonight. Today against the Florida Panthers, 2 o'clock here, 2 points up for grabs. Get back on track.
The last time the Florida Panthers were here, the Blue Jackets beat them, but they even said afterwards it wasn't one of the best games they've played all year. Head coach Todd Richards knows that the Panthers are a very formidable opponent.
You know, you can't come into this game with the notion that it's going to be easy. Again, looking at the standings and be fooled by that, because they came in and you know, for a good part, maybe not a good part of the game, but there's stretches of the game that they kept us in our own zone.
Jody, this is a team that's not in the playoff picture right now. It's a team that could have a lot of people traded by the middle of next week, but that doesn't mean they're not dangerous.
No, this is an all-urgent week. I mean, this is one of those things where all players are on deck. Everyone's on their toes. They know what's at stake. There's jobs. There's always something to play for in the NHL, and this is a team that likes to play spoiler. They realize where the Columbus Blue Jackets sit, and they want to come in here today and take it to them. So the Blue Jackets have got to be prepared. Details is what the Blue Jackets have to be ready to pay attention to. And they've got to pay attention to a couple of players in particular today. One of them is a veteran player in Brad Boyes. He's playing very well this year. On the other side, 2 young guys. Bukestad, we saw him a month ago, played very well. And Stokes has just come up from the American Hockey League, and he's been putting the puck in the back of the net. Well, this Bukestad's a big centerman. They talked about him a month ago, and they love him. He's moved up a position with Barkov off. He got injured in the Olympics. He's a guy that you got to watch. And Boyes has been a journeyman in this league. But, boy, I tell you, he's leading this team, and he's doing it very well. He was a tryout going into camp, and now he's in a situation where he's leading the Florida Panthers in goals. It's time now for our YP Keys to Getting It Done. What do the Blue Jackets have to do today? Well, Bob, they got to keep it simple and get back to that basic hockey. Manage the puck, get the puck deep, all those things we've talked about before. They just got to keep it simple and get those legs going. That's key number 1. Key number 2 is it's a 2 o'clock start. You got to be ready for the start here today. You're used to that 7 o'clock start to get things going. No, 2 o'clock, be ready, drink some coffee and get started. I've already done that. You have, and you've done well. So we're ready to go. That'll do it for today's Time Warner Rink Report. For Jody Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott. Enjoy the game.